Trying to see if we are live. Sometimes there is a delay. It says we are. There it is. Sometimes it just takes a minute. We'll give everybody a second to find us, and then we will get started. All right. Make sure you say hello. Let me know you're here and that we are good to go. Hi, Carol. Good to see you. What's the weather like in Michigan? Hopefully not rainy and dreary like it is here. It's awful. I think we're good. It looks like we're good. Yes, there we go. Okay. Rainy and cloudy. That's how it is here. I'm ready for it to go away. I don't mind cold within reason, but I need a little sunshine because to me, when it's cold and gray and dreary, all I want to do is sleep because it makes me tired. And at my office, I face a window, so it makes it really bad some days. It was bad the other day at the office because it was almost black. It was so cloudy and dark. Hello, Linda Owen. Good to see you. Hope everyone's doing great. Cannot believe we are a week from Thanksgiving. Where did this year go? Oh, it's like, wait, what? Moving too quick, too quick. Hey, we will wait one more minute and then we will jump in. Have a really cute card to show you. It's actually very easy, although it might appear a little complicated. It is absolutely not, and the pieces are pretty minimal, actually. Hello, Nancy. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Linda. All right, I am going to go ahead and jump in. Today is Thursday, November 20th, 2025. Like I said earlier, a week from Thanksgiving. Crazy to me, just crazy to me. But it seems like I've been not here forever. You take off a week and it seems like 3 weeks. It's crazy. But I have been dealing with a little bit of illness with my baby brother, who got admitted to the hospital on Saturday night. Saturday night into early Sunday morning with chest pain. And thankfully, they caught everything early, and he did have to go to the cath lab and have a stent. But he is now home and resting and just as cranky and ornery as he always is. So, good thing. So thank you to everyone who said prayers and sent well wishes. I greatly appreciate that. And then I have been in craft bazaar mode for the last month, and this weekend is my last one for the season. And that seems weird. Like, we just got started and now I'm on my last one, and I'm not doing any in December this year. I decided to give myself a little grace after this crazy month I knew I was going to have before my brother. And so I'm not going to be doing one that I've done for 20 years, but another friend is going to cover the space for me, and I'll be back next year. Okay, let's jump in. Yes, you are right. They are terrible patients. And he is not married. He lives alone down in right on the Kentucky-Tennessee border in what is called South Fulton, Tennessee. And my sister literally is, our sister is 15 minutes from him on north of North Fulton, Kentucky. And he won't call. He won't call. He won't. It's a typical man. He's very stubborn. And God loved my mother, but he was a mama's boy, and he is my mother because she was stubborn too. And maybe I'm a little stubborn, but they're bad. They're really bad. But thankfully, he's home. I've talked to him pretty much every day. He's doing good. So that's good. All right, let's jump in. There's a lot going on. So first and foremost, we have, and I don't remember it being this long. So they've been bringing some newer things out, but we are having a Black Friday sale starting on November 25th. But it's not just a Friday sale. It actually goes for several days. So it's from November 25th to December 1st. And it is going to be on select items. So anywhere from 10 to 40% off. That's going to be the trimmer, the trimmer blades, ink bundles. I got to look at my notes. Select adhesives, selective cardstock. But again, a great time to be able to stock up and get ready for your new year crafting that you might have to do. It's always nice when you can get the things that you need at a discount. And so be sure and check that out. I did put a link up on this page earlier today. So next Friday, you'll be able to jump on and get those things selected. We do have new online exclusives that started this month. We have several new kits. If you are one like me who was waiting for the Red Truck kit to come back in stock, it is back. It's called Road to Christmas, and it's a must. So you want to get it sooner than later, but I will tell you that I have a kit together that is being planned for right before Christmas, and it is going to include that kit. So I will hopefully have that information up in the next day so that you have time to be able to take advantage. It's going to be limited seating, but I've already purchased the kits and we will get that ready. But it is such a cute little kit. And I think it makes 8 cards. I believe that's right. 8 cards, either 8 or 9, but super cute. Okay, we have that. We have the Advent calendar that is still available, which is incredible. And a lot of people have not understood that it is not holiday themed. It is stuff that you're going to be able to use year round that is exclusive to this Advent calendar. There's dies and embellishments of all different kinds. Can't think of, there's just a lot. Embellishments, there's 6x6 paper, and that is separate from the really cool stamp set that comes with it. So check that out. Again, it's while supplies last, so you're going to want to get that sooner or later. Now, one thing that I want to remind everyone, and I didn't grab it, we have new packaging that is starting. And I've had a couple of people reach out and say, hey, something out of the mini catalog that of course goes until the end of December is showing up as unavailable. I can't get it. Well, what is going on is that it's not necessarily not available. So the best thing to do is go and look on the online store, and you may see it listed twice. One is unavailable or gone, and the other one is the brand new number that is for the new packaging. So there are quite a few things that It threw me off, I'll be honest with you, because I'm like, these just came out. How can they be gone? But that is what it is. So if it's photopolymer, it's going to be switched over, of course, to the new packaging, which means new number. Now, if you inadvertently try to put something in and it is available in the old packaging, it'll continue to ship out the old packaging, but when it ends up getting to what I understand is the end of that supply, it'll automatically switch over, so you'll get it in new packaging. But that's what's going on with that, okay? As far as events that are coming up, this Saturday is my last craft bazaar for the year. It's at Male High School from 8:30 to 3. If you've never been to Male, you need to come check it out. They have over 150 booths. I am in the large gym, same place I've been for the last, 15 years. But I always have my stocking stuffers. And of course, you've seen some videos that I've posted here on the page of the last several places that I've been. I was at Eastern for the first time last Saturday. Oh my gosh. Was that an amazing day? The show is run phenomenally. And if you missed it, you need to plan to go next year, because I've never seen a craft bazaar this big. If they didn't have 200 booths, I would be surprised. It just kept winding from hall to hall to hall. Shelby came and helped me, which was nice. So I got to walk and look and visit with some of the vendors that used to be in my Seneca show that I chaired for several years. But oh my gosh, what an amazing show. But come out to Male, like I said, on Saturday if you're out and about. I have lots of stocking stuffers. Shelby and I have been busy making some additional things. But if for some reason you can't make it to Male and there's something that you want, I am planning to post what I have left for you, as well as to have those things with me at a couple of the early December events, so that you can still take advantage. If you're not coming to the class to actually participate, you can still come and shop. So you'll be watching and seeing all those options coming up very soon. In addition to that, the next classes that I have 2 November classes that, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, we have moved to early December. So the November Christmas card Stamp-A-Stack has been moved to December 7th at 1 o'clock. That's already up on the website, so you can go and register for that. The sips and cards that should have been for November, the winery needed to make a change, so they've bumped that to December 3rd, and that is at 6 o'clock. We are doing Christmas cards at both of those events. And then our normal December sips and cards at the winery is going to be on the 17th of December, and we're going to be doing gift card holders and tags. So all of these events are up on my page, so you'll be able to go and register for them. But we've got some really cute gift card holders. It's nice to give someone something, but you don't want to just stick it in those cardboard things that it comes on when you buy it, or those weird little envelopes. So you're going to be able to make some of these, and sometimes you can get 2 or 3 out of a single sheet of cardstock. So you'll want to check that out. And it includes a glass of wine, of course. And then at the end of December, on the 28th, is our normal Stamp-A-Stack, and that one is Birthday Bash. So we start our birthday cards in December and January. And you're going to love these. I've already started working on those as well. So they're going to be a lot of fun as well. And then, of course, on January the 26th, I believe it is, mark that on your calendar. It's the 4th Sunday in January. That is our next Stamp and Bunko. And I'll have that information up as well. Okay. I think that is all the news. Yes. So let me show you. Make sure you're saying hello. Hi, Diana. Hi, Linda Offox. Hi, Linda Lighting. Hi, Tracy Conrad. So glad to see all of you. But make sure you're commenting, saying hello, and letting me know you're here, because your name's going to go into a drawing for the project that I did on our last live week before last. This was the card we made. It opens like this and then again like this. Super fun. And it uses that 6x6 Designer Series paper pack. So a fun little card. So I've got everybody's name here in the hat. And of course, you can always say hello on the replay. So if you're not watching live, you can still get in. Just make sure that you comment, okay? So let's see. Oh, I got two. Let's see who this is going to go to. This is going to go to the birthday girl, Bonnie Morris. So today is Bonnie's birthday. Happy birthday to her again. And then, of course, if you share my video, your name goes into a separate drawing. And this is for a stack of cards from my stash. So let's see who is going to get that. And when you share, make sure you type the word shared in all capital letters. That way I don't miss it. But that's going to go to Norma Bryant. So Norma, I have your address and I will get that ready for you. All right. And then, of course, if you place an order in my online store, not only are you going to earn 10% in Stampin' Rewards, but you're also going to get a little gift from me. I always pick out an embellishment to send you as a thank you. And for the month of November, it is the Delightful Decorative Dots. I love these. I think that would be Calypso Coral and Real Red. And I want to say... like Pretty Peacock maybe, although it's kind of bright, but super pretty, okay? And these are actually part in the mini catalog on the same page with the gingerbread set. So if you're wondering where those are, that's where that is. All right. Okay, so I think I've said hello to everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Let me put the camera down. I'm actually using several different things today to make this card, but I love how they all coordinate. So hold 1 second and let me show you the main stamp set we're going to work with. And if you have not seen this bundle, you need to check this out. This is called Ornamental Christmas. And let me double check something because I said earlier, oh boy, we are lopsided, aren't we? Let's see if we can straighten ourselves up. And I promise we are going to switch very soon to doing everything. Yes, it is an online exclusive in the September release. Okay, so this is the one that's the black and gold. But what I want to show you is check out these dies. Now, we're using the stamp set today, not the dies, but I want you to see them because there is, oh, it might be Shy Shamrock. Hi, Betty. Yes. Hey, Karen. Yes, it might be Shy Shamrock. I need to look in the mini and see what it says. But check out these dies. Are these not awesome? So you've got both of your trees, but you've got these ornaments that you can make. You've got the toppers. You've got stars to put on the tops of your trees. And I love that they gave us several different ones. Okay. You can use these for elements across your ornaments. And then, of course, you have this lovely big circle. And I actually wanted to see, let me look at that. That circle is 2 7/8. Wow, that's awesome. But it coordinates with these awesome gold rings. So it actually fits right inside so that you can use these to make additional ornaments. So, and again, this is part of that same suite. So like I said, we're going to use the words tonight, but I wanted you to see those dies. I love the way this star looks when you punch it out. And I've seen several people doing multiples in different colors and stacking them to turn them into a 3D. So they do it, basically they're doing 6. They're doing 3 different patterns, 3 different colors, etc. But they're stacking them and then they do it again, and then they put the two flat sides together with string in the middle and making it into an ornament. And they're simply gorgeous. Who would have thought to do that? Not me. So, you know, I'm thankful for people who think outside the box. But we're going to use this stamp set. Then we're also going to be using the dies out of this beautiful bundle. This is the Delicate Pines. And we're going to be using this one, Warmest Winter Wishes. That's Sentiment. And we're going to be using some of the dies. And these dies coordinate with the Designer Series paper. So the dies we're going to be using is this element here and these two here. Okay. But I also want to show you one more. And I think sometimes certain dies can be standalones. So even if you're not crazy about the stamp set, you easily could get just the die. So this is Traditional Labels. I love the Sentiments. There's so many different ones to choose from, but this is the die set. And I love when we have different dies that you can do, you know, different things with. And they not necessarily have to be part of the suite or stamp set that you're using. I love them. We're actually going to be using this big one right here for the front of our project. But you have this double banner here, and so these all fit. And I love how these are curved, so they also can fit in those images as well. So we're going to be using that. So if you haven't checked them out, and again, let me come back over here. Look how many there are. There's so many. Just so many. And these are all made from pines. I don't know if you can see that. But is that not cool? Whoever designed this, whichever one of our concept artists, I've never seen anything quite like it, and I just love it. And then it's got the dies to cut out all the elements. You can stack these. Just so much fun in this. Now, this is the paper, and this is called Elegant Pine Snowflakes, and it has Cherry Cobbler, Garden Green, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, Secret Sea, and Shaded Spruce. And again, I just love how this all coordinates together. But here's some beautiful paper. I didn't think I would like the Secret Sea when I first saw that it was in there, but I love how it just all coordinates together. So we have this one, and isn't that pretty? And of course, the die will cut these little flowers, or I say flowers, the little snowflakes out. And let me bring it up to the camera, because even though it looks, there's the white, there is a Secret Sea here around it. There we go. Now you can see it. Along with the Pretty Peacock on the back. So pretty. This one, and again, the dies cut out most of these things. You've got the pine cones that will cut out. This one, I think this is made with salt. Don't quote me, but I think that's what they said, is that they spray salt and after they ink it, and that, or put down salt and spray water, and that's what makes this. But I just think it's beautiful. And it looks a little muted on camera, but it is actually like almost a old olive, kind of granny apple green color. This one's pretty as well. Isn't that beautiful? Who knew that green snowflakes could be so pretty? And again, that large die will cut out the large flowers. So this is a must, in my opinion. This is a suite everyone needs because of so many options. Again, there's those big ones. I've actually made a couple of frames, and I'll take pictures and post them to take to mail using this to make some 8x8 frames that turned out really, really pretty. Okay, and then here's one more. and then another. But isn't that, that almost looks like a snowstorm. It's just so, so pretty. So you'll have to check that out. Again, that is on the online exclusives. Okay, let me tell you about the pieces that you need. I'm going to go ahead and bring my grid paper in so I don't forget. You are going to start with a piece of Pretty Peacock. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You need another piece that's 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. A piece of Cherry Cobbler. This is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and you're going to score it twice at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. We're going to use, if I can find where he went. Did I drop him? There he is. A piece of Lost Lagoon. And this one is 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I've embossed it with that distressed tile folder. Or distressed brick, I think it's called. Okay. Then you need designer series paper. This one is 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. A small piece that's 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then you need 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 2 1/2. So those are your card elements. And then you need just some scraps to do your labels and some die cutting. And that's basic white, old olive, and Pretty Peacock. Okay. So the die cutting that I did from those scraps, let me move my notes here, is that label. And how cool is this label? I just love whenever there's like different stitching or elements. I just think it really changes up the whole look. Hey, Kim, it changes up the whole look of your project to have those extra elements. Then we're going to use that same die, and I'm trying to mimic some of the elements in the paper. So we've got 2 of these, and then I have 2 of these little firs branches that we're going to also use. Okay, so that's all the pieces that you need to do this. All right, so let's move this out of the way for a second. And let's grab our white pieces to do our stamping. And the colors in ink that we're going to use are Cherry Cobbler, Pretty Peacock, and Lost Lagoon. And let's see. I'm going to start with this one. And this says, "'Tis the Season." And this one actually comes from the Ornamental Christmas. This is for the front. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up in Cherry Cobbler. I'm just going to do right here in the center, maybe. Okay, so there's our "'Tis the Season." Then I want to do, that's it. Okay. So all we're going to do with Cherry Cobbler, we'll lay him over here. We're going to bring in one of our 2-inch pieces. And on this one, I am going to do Pretty Peacock first. And I'm going to use from the same step, "Wishing you peace and joy." And what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to stamp it down the side over here. So I want it close. I got to put my head up here. I apologize. Close to the edge. So it's going to actually run down the side like that. Okay. And then that's going to go to the left. And then in the same stamp set as those sentiments, we have this one tree. And I just love how it looks. Okay, so I'm going to use Lost Lagoon for it. And I'm actually going to stamp the tree twice. Let me make sure I have, whenever I haven't used something before, I always like to, I'm kind of doing this on the fly, so we'll see. So I want to stamp it to the right. And then I'm going to move it over and up just a tad. and stamp it again. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. So it looks like that. Hey, Terry. Hello. How are you, Linda McFarland? It's the night of the Lindas. I love it. Okay, so we've got those done. And then one more for the white pieces. I have the Warmest Winter Wishes. I'm going to ink that up. And of course, this one is from our Delicate Pines. But I love how all of this coordinates together so you can mix or match. And I'm going to put that kind of to the top, just like that. And I still need that. Okay, so that takes care of those. Now, let's go ahead and, where's my tape runner? Am I getting ready to run out? It looks like it. Maybe we can make it work. We'll see. Not, we'll grab a refill. Okay, so I'm just going to put this across the bottom. I always cut my piece a little bit longer. That way I can make sure I have enough, especially if I don't cut my paper straight. Okay, so there's that. And then I have this little tiny snowflake. And I want my Lost Lagoon again. And I want to just take this little snowflake. And I'm just going to stamp one up there and one over here just to kind of dress that up. So that's all done. I'm going to clean that just like that. My scrubber looks like it's buried. Okay, and then the last bit of stamping I want to do is I want to take that base. Okay, move that. And I'm going to do tone-on-tone stamping. So I'm going to do Pretty Peacock. And I want to just kind of go around the edge just to have a little bit, doesn't have to be perfect. Don't necessarily have to do the center. You'll see why here. But you want to make sure that you at least have some of this done. And I could have probably not done that side, but that's okay. That way, if you're like me, when you start going, and then you go to put it together, you're like, ooh, I missed one. And then it's hard to stamp. So let's just make sure we've got them all. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. All the stamping is done. All right, let me move that like that. I'm afraid we're going to try. Hopefully I can make it. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. We don't need that. Let's grab this piece first. And we are just going to adhere this onto the top. We're just going to layer this. Now, while this isn't necessarily directional, I always try to look and see where the bulk of my elements are, what direction they're facing. And that's kind of how I consider what's up or down. Okay, I'll lay that up there. I'm going to lay that right there for a second. I'm going to work with this piece, okay? So what we want to do is we're going to make basically a mini album. And we're going to accordion fold it so that we make a Z, okay? And we want to work with it so that it opens to my left, okay? Like this. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down. So I should have a mountain and then a valley. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of flatten it out for a second because I want to go ahead and add my elements. So the one with the little banner at the bottom, that is going to go over here on the right, just like that. And then this one is going to go in the center. And you could have layered these on other cardstock if you wanted. We're going to add that there, just like that. And then this piece is going to go on the right side, close to the fold, but you want to leave a little border around it. Okay, so we're going to add that right here. So you kind of make sure that you've got an equal border all the way around. Okay, so again, it's going to fold like that. So from your direction, it's going to open like this, okay? So what we want to do is we're going to bring in this piece, and we're going to put adhesive on the panel, the back of the third panel. Okay, so we want to add quite a bit, and I think this is getting ready to run out. I can feel it. Kind of pulling, okay? And we want to just center this just like this, okay? Donna, it's not exactly centered. Try again. That's better. And again, like I said, you could have not stamped on this side, but you'll see why you want it. That way you have it there, okay? So that goes like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, and this piece is going to lay right here. Now, what you have to be careful of is that you only put adhesive in this bare spot, okay? Hopefully we can pull this off so I don't have to get out my other adhesive that I prefer not to use anymore. Okay, so there's that, okay? And then you want to make sure that this is lined up, top and bottom, and on the left edge. So I'm not really pressing down. I'm just making sure I'm lined up. Okay. So now this opens like this, okay? Just like that, all right? So that's how that's going to work. Then we're going to decorate our front, okay? And this is going to center across these two panels, okay? But before I do that, I want to take these elements and I want to decorate them a little bit. So what I think I want to do, I don't really want to use liquid glue, so we're going to eyeball this. I'm just going to put a couple of swooshes there to hold that side. And then we'll add this one here, okay? And it's okay that they are loose. I don't think they're going to go anywhere, but we can grab some liquid glue here. And we'll just put a dot there and a dot here, just to kind of hold that one piece down. I like when it's got a little bit of movement to it. Okay, so there's that. So now what I want to do with these is I'm going to go ahead and just cut them in half. Okay. So just cut right across that little disc. And then I'm going to add these up here. So we'll add one there. And we'll add one here. You could have put this on the back of your label, but I kind of like to be a little bit more in control by doing it freehand. Okay, so now I want to put it right here. And again, I'm just doing this to kind of pull these elements out of the designer series paper. And I want to try to stay on this panel. I could bring it on out as long as I don't go over there. In fact, let me kind of turn that a little bit. There we go. Okay. And we'll add this one. Let's put it on here. All right, let's put that one down and hold it. Hopefully it's not sticking to my fingers so it comes up. All right, there's that. We can put that away. Let's grab some dimensionals. There they are. And I like to always put, especially if it's a larger banner, I like to put one in the center. And then we're going to add this across like this. Okay. And then we're going to grab these awesome, they're called faceted snowflakes. And again, they have all these beautiful colors that pull right out of the paper. And I love that they are two sizes, larges and smalls. And we're just going to add some of those here on. I might get a little carried away. I love these so much. They're so pretty. So glittery. Oh, it stuck to my finger. Huh. Well, guess I'll have to use that one, right? Let's put it right here. And we'll put one, is that too much? It's never too much bling, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have to be odd numbers. So one more. How about right there? Okay. And here's our card. And how fun, right? And this is what I was talking about. See how when your card, you can stand it up, it'll stand, right? So when it's open, you really want to be able to know that that's cohesive with the snowflakes over here. But it also, why I added these is it kind of ties these two panels together as well. Now you could have done this in red if you wanted to kind of break up the different colors, but I didn't want to add too much cherry cobbler knowing that my middle panel was cherry cobbler. So lots of different ideas that you can do. But again, it's minimal. You can actually get 2 out of each sheet of cardstock. So you can get 2 panels for your accordion and then 2 panels with plenty of cardstock left over because you're actually going to do basically a half for one panel and then part of a quarter for this one. So super nice, right? So that's your card for tonight. Now, one thing I will tell you is once you get it all done, go ahead and re-burnish it. That way, it'll lay a little flatter for you. It is going to most likely need some extra postage simply because of the thickness of the accordion. And then, of course, if you pop this up, but it's worth it, right? All right. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, everyone, that's your card for tonight. I hope you like this. I will post all the pictures as well as the measurements and supplies up on the Creative Cove. If you are not a member of the Creative Cove, if you will go up to the top of the page here, under the pinned or featured post, you will find a link. But that is my customer group, and that's where I post extra pictures, etc. So if you have any questions, you need anything, please let me know. Be sure and mark your calendar for the Black Friday sale that starts next week. And I hope you'll come out and see me on Saturday at Male High School from 8:30 to 3. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your week. Stay warm, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.